Please excuse my nerves, I'm honestly about to explode. It's like bursting. Okay. I'm going to read this one. I've done one in the past where I didn't read and I blacked out, so I think this might be a safer bet for everyone in the room. A bit more concise. I'm going in there. Okay, so my name is Gabriella and I run Risotto, a risograph print and design studio, and it's also a stationery company. So I'm going to talk to you today about how, like a lot of you, my journey to where I am now has not been a formal one and growing, and it's grown organically around my personal interests and instincts, whilst developing at a time where the internet has totally changed the landscape and access of art and design. So jumping back a few years to 2010, I went on exchange to Pratt Institute, New York, where I took on an indie publishing class, and the course came with an open access to a risograph printer, and every week we made new work based around a different zine format. So having free reign of the printer really changed how I make work, which was intrinsic to the process. So I've dug deep in my archives and found some absolutely bad work from before Riso, and then to hopefully it's unrecognisable to my work now. So I came back to Glasgow a new woman, and Riso really shaped everything going forward. So I bought my first Riso off eBay from a woman who'd been printing her grandkids' football gazettes. And so I managed to get up to my top floor flat, where I continued producing my own zines as well as commercial work for the Art School Union and posters for local bars and clubs. And so by the time I graduated, I opened Risotto up in the glue factory, where I'm still based today. So low rents and a vibrant community of freelancers have allowed me to prioritise creativity over cash. And 5 years later, I find myself now with a wonderful new first employee, printing artist publications, editions, promo material for a whole range of creative industries, half in Glasgow and half to the rest of the world, thanks to the internet and post. A huge part of running Risotto as a Riso service is education. So the process is simple. It's a screen printer, well, I say it's simple, screen printer kind of photocopier, and it produces really punchy, is that good, I tell you. But the quirks are really hard to manage and convey to a new audience. So this is a challenge the new website hopes to resolve. So we launched it in June with my amazing friend and motion designer, Brenda Bennett, who helped me translate this Riso room into a virtual reality. Something I don't have the means to currently offer physically, but hopefully maybe down the line. So the site also encompasses everything that we do at Risotto. So it's got a quote calculator, it crunches all the variables, workshops, a vast archive of print material, but also this print simulator, which is my favourite part, as it allows people to experiment with layers before committing to a print run, which is often that preciousness with sending stuff to print. So this hopefully opens that up. Another part of the website is the Riso Club, which is a new monthly print subscription that allows us to publish exciting new work from a whole range of creatives, with each issue focusing on a different city. So our first issue was Glasgow, and the next one will be Seoul in South Korea, Philadelphia, then Paris. It feels so nice to be on the other side of the fence and initiating relationships with people whose work I've been admiring online, promoting their work, also showcasing the potentials of Riso. And then the other part of the studio is the product side, which is my personal outlet to design and produce the things I want to make. So it's hard not to get carried away, and I often print a whole load of crap because I can. So it's kind of hard. I don't have that sort of outside help to critique it and stuff. But that's the beauty of having an in-house sort of production, and it offers control over every stage of the process where I can test ideas and develop designs without having that financial pressure or the time pressure. So at the moment, we produce editions that can be turned around in under a week, fulfilling big orders, or new wholesale orders like clients like Liberty. So when I received their first email, I was really excited, but really nervous because they'd put in such a large order without having seen any of the products, and it's a very tactile thing. And they didn't get back to us after we sent all the stuff down. So I was really panicking that they hated it. And then out of the blue, more orders came in, and that's just the way they work. They don't really give you updates, but they place orders, and so far, so good. So it sort of reiterates the fact that Risotto is so reliant as an online platform. Her sister gave her a notepad for Christmas, and that's how, as a buyer, she bought into me and us, which is really refreshing and exciting, and it shows that being online, you can still be tiny, but still secure sort of big contracts. So aside from all this, I make my work as a graphic artist under my own name, and I take on commissions and projects that are essentially out with the parameters of Risotto. There are obviously links in the design aesthetic, but the material, scale, and context being totally different, the work feels more ambitious and hopefully takes on its own feel. So one of my favourite projects today has been a commission for the Glasgow Museums and Tramway, and it was an exhibition called Art from Another India. So they initially were looking to commission an artist to create a sculpture that would respond to the museum's new collection of Indian folk art, but instead opted for a set design approach that could create an environment to house all the artefacts in this giant space. So it's the largest indoor exhibition space in Europe, so getting the scale and pattern and proportion of graphics right was the biggest challenge, as well as the application process. This was a big, totally new challenge for me, which I really liked. So it's almost all billboard pastings, some paint, and a big inflammable curtain. I get the most satisfaction from projects that offer the biggest challenges, like I'm saying, and I see them as opportunities to learn, experiment, and keep work fresh. So this is my first mural. Which I got through Instagram, and it was a mural for Puma, which I painted to promote their burgundy suede. So this kind of work is quite new to me, like brand collaboration, product placement. It's a bit cringy, especially if I have to be in it. But it's helped me get a lot more jobs, and it's kind of, I feel like I can't say no, and I'm kind of into it. So to wrap up, some reflection on my current state of mind. So I've been asked before about growth and whether, in order to grow, do I need to move to London? And I'm instinctively, it's always a no, and I feel so jammy that I'm in Glasgow and I can make stuff on my own terms. And how good the internet is in allowing a lot of tiny businesses an open playing field, securing and managing new work independently. Yeah, so this is my growth ladder. I've always thought of the pressures of growth in its most obvious forms, being like inflating things and more people, more work, more money. But now I've only started to realise that for me that doesn't fit. So Risotto has essentially been built around me and my practice. And the bigger it gets, the more diluted the outputs would potentially become. And I'd rather spend my time doing colouring books than managing projects. So I think continual growth is great, but I no longer feel the pressure of having it in that physical way. And I love the power of small and new places it's been taking me. And there's so much room for experimentation and play, and thank you so much. I'm really sorry.